1. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? 2. Why are you interested in this position? 3. What qualifications do you have that make you a good fit for this job? 4. What are your greatest strengths? 5. What are your greatest weaknesses? 6. How do you handle stress and pressure? 7. Tell me about a time when you had to solve a difficult problem. 8. Describe a time when you worked effectively under deadline. 9. Can you give an example of when you had to work as part of a team? 10. Why do you want to work for this company? 11. Tell me about a time when you had to adapt to a new situation. 12. How do you handle conflict or disagreement with a coworker or supervisor? 13. Describe a time when you had to be very organized in order to meet a deadline. 14. Tell me about a time when you made a mistake and how you handled it. 15. Have you ever had to make a decision that was difficult for you? How did you handle it? 16. Tell me about a time when you had to work with someone you didn't get along with. 17. Describe a time when you went above and beyond in your job. 18. What are your long-term career goals? 19. How do you stay up to date on industry developments? 20. Tell me about a time when you took on a leadership role. 21. Describe a time when you had to give a presentation. 22. How do you prioritize your tasks and responsibilities? 23. What are your salary expectations? 24. Tell me about a time when you had to deal with a difficult customer or client. 25. How do you handle feedback or criticism? 26. Describe a time when you had to work with limited resources. 27. How do you handle a heavy workload? 28. Tell me about a time when you had to make a difficult decision under pressure. 29. How do you handle a situation when you don't know the answer to a question? 30. Describe a time when you had to overcome a challenge. 31. What are your goals for the next 5 years? 32. How do you handle stress and pressure in your personal life? 33. Tell me about a time when you had to work with a tight budget. 34. How do you handle difficult situations with clients or customers? 35. Describe a time when you had to manage a team. 36. How do you handle a situation when you are asked to do something you are not comfortable with? 37. Describe a time when you had to make a presentation in front of a large audience. 38. What is your management style? 39. How do you handle a situation when a team member is not pulling their weight? 40. Tell me about a time when you had to work with someone who was difficult to get along with. 41. What do you consider to be your biggest professional accomplishment? 42. Describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision. 43. How do you handle a situation when you are asked to do something that goes against your values? 44. Tell me about a time when you had to work with a diverse team. 45. How do you handle a situation when you are asked to do something that you don't have the skills or knowledge to do? 46. Describe a time when you had to work with limited resources. 47. How do you handle a situation when you are asked to do something that you disagree with? 48. Tell me about a time when you had to make a presentation in front of a skeptical audience. 49. How do you handle a situation when you are asked to do something that you feel is unethical? 50. Describe a time when you had to work with a team that was not performing well. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, smile.